Hi everyone, and welcome to your third Java tutorial. My name is Alicia and I'll be taking you through this tutorial. This one's going to focus on classes, variables, and getting user input. We'll be going through 3 examples, all of which I will provide the examples on my website calendum.com after the tutorial has been released online. So let's get started. So for our first example here, we're going to be going through what a class is. So in Java, classes are everything. You type inside the class to create a method, which is essentially your algorithm or your head of what you want the instructions that you're going to put in it to do. So to explain that a little bit further, here's my Hello Friends example from the last video. So we have a class which is named Hello Friends, and then we have our method inside our class. Method starts with public static void and then main and the string argument comment. I'm not going to go over what public static and void mean in this video. Just know that it has to go there, and I'll explain it more in depth in another video. Main is just your main method that we've had here, or where to start. And then for this one, for instance, I've printed hello world twice. So if I just go ahead and I print this, or I run this, you're going to see hello world print out twice on the bottom of the screen here. Now, why I've printed it twice is to show you the difference between print and print line. So print line allows you to go to the next line once you have completed this line. So if I take out print line here and I just go print, you're going to see the difference being hello world will print out twice on the same line. So I'm just going to add a space here so that it has a space between hello world, hello world. So there you can see printed out on the same line, hello world, hello world. If we go back and we add that line in again, you're going to see it print out on 2 separate lines. Alright, so we typed inside the method our instructions. We started with main. Main is where your program would start. The main structure, you have your method header, which we went over, which was the public static void main, and then the string arguments. We went over the directions or the steps that you would put within the main. So you would put whatever your directions are, or whatever you want your method to do for you. Then we used the example of system out print line, and we went over the difference between print and print line. Now our second example goes over variables, declaring and assigning them. So for this example, we have our public class variables example. Then I have our method header again, so public static void main string arguments. Then within here we have our directions or our instructions for what we want this method to do. So I declared our variable being an integer, and it was I gave it the name being number. Then from there, the name of the variable number, I assigned it the number 5. And then I printed it out twice onto the screen, because you can use this variable as many times as you want within this method. So as you can see down here, printed out twice on the screen below here. If we took again out this line, it would do the same thing, and it would print out 55 consecutively, or 55 on the same line. So you can see that it did that there. And you can see that it used that variable as many times as you want, or more than once. So we entered our variables within the method. We saw that we can use the variable numerous times. What kind of variable is it? So I used integer in this case. You can have integer, strings, doubles. Doubles are decimals. So if I change this to a double, and I made it 5.5, for instance, then it would print 5.5. And you use double for decimals. Print the variable out on the screen and combine it with a string. Okay, so if we wanted to combine it with a string, for instance, I'm going to change this to not number. This is my height. And then we had this number. Then if I wanted it on the same line, I could do it like that. You can see that it prints out the string below here. This is my height, 5.5. So that's how you would combine a number and a string, or put a number within a string. So that's how you would declare and assign variables. For our third example, we're going to go over getting user input. So we want to use the scanner. So in this case, what does that mean? We're going to import scanner via import java.util.scanner. So let's see that on our third example. So over here we imported this, our library for the scanner. Then we have our method header again, which was in this case I gave it get user input example. Then that was our class name, or our class header. Then we have our method header, public static void main, and then the main was where it starts. And then I have another variable here, which is our scanner variable, the scanner variable, I gave it the name key. So new scanner, and then we wanted it to take whatever the input is that the user gives through the keyboard. So scanner, I named it key. We said that this is going to be a new scanner, and it took whatever the keyboard was going to bring in. After whatever the user types in, we want it to type that back out onto the screen. So system out print line, and then key.next line. So we declared and assigned our variable within the same line here, and then we used our variable within this line here. So let's go ahead and type and play this, or let's go ahead and run this. And it's going to have, you just have to put your cursor down here. Then if we type hello friends, it types it back to you. So took whatever the input was that I gave the command prompt, and then it typed it back to me. So we imported the scanner via import java.util.scanner. Then we declared the scanner variable, we gave it a name, and then we used it in the next line. Alright, so for this tutorial, we've gone over classes, variables, and getting user input. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.